With Confluence Outfitters. Luke Garrity and I today were fishing on the Delta with Captain Bryce Tedford. Bryce, you've been a guide for a long time. You've guided in Oregon. You've done a lot of steelhead guiding. You've been here for about 6 years guiding the Delta, is that right?
This is my 6th season as a captain, but I've been in California now for 10 years. Took me a couple of years to learn it. You know, it's such a vast place. It's almost 1,200 square miles of water. So it takes you a while to figure it out. So this is my 6th year as a full-time captain out here.
Cool, that's great. And you have a passion for this fishery that's very obvious. Tell me, what is it that you really love about fly fishing in the Delta?
Yeah, well, most people who know me, I'm passionate about most things I do, but that said, you know, I was passionate about stripers in that they're unique, in that you got a fish that will absolutely rip a fly in the water when stripped hard, rip a rod out of your hands. And what's amazing about the Delta is I can be out here 10 months of the year with stripers, largemouth and smallmouth. With the largemouth and smallmouth, tons of topwater opportunity, but the stripers kind of are the cream of the crop. With you got a great spring and you got a great fall where you can run around the entire Delta and have a good chance of getting some really nice fish that'll rip the rod out of your hands.
Well, we've certainly had a really impressive day today. I think the fishing was more than we were expecting. I literally caught a fish on my first cast. And I mean, we started at 7. By 9:30, we had caught dozens of small fish, and we had both caught fish in the 5-pound class, some quality fish too. And it seems like this is almost kind of an in-between time of year. So we're kind of getting into a real true prime time, which would be maybe October. But for me, seeing the productivity of this fishery and just how well we did today was really impressive to me. And I think this might not be like a banner day for here. And so that's just what I was really impressed with the quality.
Solid day. I mean, definitely a solid day. You guys are great anglers. You put the rod, you put the flies out there. You stripped them hard. That's the key in striper fishing, is to be able to consistently put the fly out there, be able to strip the fly in a manner that gets the striper to think it is food. And if you do that, for the most part, you're going to be rewarded in this fishery. Not every day is a banner day, but a lot of really good days, some amazing days, and like any fishery, you can have some tough days here and there, but as a rule, an amazing fishery that's very consistent.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about logistics. So if people want to fish with you and they're staying in the greater Bay Area, about how far is it for them to get here to meet you in the morning?
As a rule of thumb, it's nice you're going actually against the traffic, so that you have that in your favor when you're coming in the morning from San Francisco area. And it's about an hour as a general rule to either say Quartz Pirates Lair Marina or Vieira's Resort or any of the various resorts that I'll use to target where the stripers are at that given time of the year. And so it's generally about an hour as a rule.
And if you're coming out of the Sacramento area, a little bit less?
Little bit less, up to, I say an hour again. Again, if you're in the southern part of Sacramento, it's 45 to 55 minutes. But if you're in the northern part of Sacramento, it can be an hour and 10 minutes.
Got it. And I mean, we stayed in Lodi last night, and so we had a 20-minute drive, and that worked great.
Yep.
So a typical day starts and ends?
Typical day starts 7 to 7:30, and you go a solid 8 hours up to 9 hours, and so you're going to finish around 3:30 to 4:30.
Got it. Let's talk a little bit about times a year for stripers first, and then we'll touch on the other species. So prime times for stripers would be what?
If I had to pick some months, now again, today would be an example of an off-season time fishing well, and that can happen throughout the year. However, if I was going to pick prime months, it would be April and May in the spring, and October, November in the fall. If I was going to pick the 4 best months to be that are the most consistent on the Delta, but outside on either side of those is good as well.
Yeah, and today it's mid-September, and we had, to me, what was a really impressive day of fishing.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks before what's considered prime time.
Yeah.
Again, 2-week window on either side. Any given year can be great.
Got it. And let's talk a little bit about the summer fishing. Smallmouth, largemouth. Tell me a little bit about your program there.
Yeah, fun fishery. I generally do that in the northern part of the Delta, a little closer to Rio Vista, and I chase the smallmouth and the largemouth, primarily topwater trips. Great trips for getting newer people into the sport, working on the mechanics of fly fishing, getting warmed up for another trip, say to Northern California or elsewhere. And it's a great way to get in the sport of fly fishing, catching on light tackle, catching good numbers of topwater smallmouth and largemouth bass.
And when you say light tackle, like what weight rods?
So for the smallmouth, I like 4 to 5 weight rods, 4 weights for the small size 6, 8 poppers, 5 weights for the jigs and whatnot that will throw off the ledges. And then for the largemouth, it's all 7 to 8 weight rods and I primarily target those with large frog poppers.
Oh, cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And today we were using 9 weights for stripers.
Stripers, as a general rule, 8 to 9 weights. Yeah. There are days where the wind stays down and you could get away with a 7 weight, but as a rule, 8 weights are pretty mandatory. And on days when the wind comes up or you want to throw larger flies for larger fish, I would throw a 9 weight.
Awesome. Well, we had a great day out here today. Connected with a lot of fish, some quality fish, and saw some really neat part of the state that I don't get to come to often enough. So thank you for a great day.
Absolutely.
All right,
Thank
man.
you. Thanks, gentlemen.